The walk-on Indians played a ninth game last week, and this week they will play a 10th game as the Indians will travel to Alburnett for the second round of the playoffs. Last week, a 34 to 13 win over Bellevue, who came into the playoffs with only one loss. Head coach Chad Beermann joining us. And coach, how'd you guys get it done now last week?
Well, we did enough defensively. We gave them some different looks. We rolled coverages and brought a little bit of pressure and forced. Well, we got four turnovers and we dropped two more interceptions. We could have had two of the picks, or the two picks we did get were at both in the end zone, so they were timely. We gave up a lot of yards, but we didn't give up a lot of points. So that was big. And the two fumbles were both. One was a strip sack and one was a long kickoff return that they had down inside our 20, and we stripped the ball away from them and recovered that, and so that took away another scoring opportunity. And the offense, did a good job putting points up on the board and finishing drives and kind of trying to control the clock as much as we could. So
And
it was a good team effort, basically.
yeah, and 410 yards of total offense, including 257 yards on the ground. What allowed your offense to click last week?
The offensive line did a better job. There were still some issues, but a much more consistent job. We got good new production out of the three backs that did the majority of the carries. I mean, Owen went over 100 yards, I think, receiving and rushing, and then Christian and Gabe each pitched in with good timely runs, first downs, and that allowed us to possess the ball and get up and down the field.
And you touched on Owen, 116 yards on the ground and two touchdowns, six catches, 110 yards, and two touchdowns receiving wise. I don't remember ever seeing a kid at the high school level do both in the same game. What allowed Owen's numbers to be eye-popping last Friday?
He was very physical, and there were a number of times when kids have an opportunity to tackle him, and he stiff armed them and kept on going down the field. And like I said, that the line did a nice job. We popped a couple counters with Owen. He had big runs on that, and in his reception, oh, I suppose he was about 20 yards downfield when he caught it, and then he rumbled the rest of the way. Basically, actually dropped the ball, picked it back up again, and then finished on in the end zone. So they weren't pretty, but they were effective.
And this week, you go on the road for the second round of the tournament. You take on an Elburnett team that Crestwood battled toe to toe, but the Pirates ended up getting the win last week. What have you been able to figure out on film about Elburnett going into this week?
It's a very different matchup. Last week we had the number one quarterback, number one receiver, and all of 11 man, and then this week we have the top rusher in 2A from a team that gets it done on the ground more. I mean, they can throw the ball, but they've got really good speed and decent size, and that's what the two long touchdown runs that he got against Crestwood were the difference in that game last week. We got to keep him contained, but he's not their only weapon. So we've got to be balanced defensively. And again, if we can drive the football and put points on the board, we should be in any game. So,
And what makes the Caves kid so tough to handle?
well, I think he was third in the 100 and second in the 200 last year at state track. So he's got good breakaway speed. Not huge, but he's kind of a shifty runner. I think he's 6 foot 185 or something like that. And a little bit of wiggle to him, but not a ton. But just once he gets in the open, it's tough to catch him.
And the way you guys are playing out right now, you've won three straight games, four out of your last five. How confident is your team right now?
Well, I think we know if we play like we're capable of playing, then we should be in any game and have a chance, and go on another round, and we'll see how it goes from there. But as long as we do that, Friday night we had great pursuit. We'd have all 10, 11 guys in the camera at the end of the play on defense, and kids be willing to throw extra blocks. As Owen was crossing the goal line, we had a kid at the 5 yard line throwing a block for him, and that was like 70 yards downfield. So that's what it takes. That's what it takes for any team to go on as kids making that extra effort.
All right, hopefully that can continue this Friday night, Coach. Keep your kids healthy. We wish you best of luck. Let's chat again next week, and hopefully you have to adjust practice due to the lack of daylight savings time next week.
All right, thank you.
Chad Beermann, head coach of the Walk On Indians, walk on at El Burnett in the round of 16 Friday night.